obesity is a worldwide epidemic. That is true right here in Indiana and Fayette County. A recent study was published in the Connersville News Examiner for the health of Indiana, and they ranked the counties as the healthiest from least to greatest. Fayette County ranked 90th out of 92 counties. If our lifestyle in Fayette County is so poor, what does the future hold for our children? We as a community need to give attention to the health of our children. There are many reasons that helping children and adolescents overcome this preventable health risk. Health issues that obese children are at risk for include high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, depression, low self-esteem, asthma, orthopedic problems, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Indiana Government Online reported that in 2011, 75% of children and adolescents that had type 2 diabetes were obese, and 30.7 children ages 2 to 4 that were enrolled in the Women, Infant, Children, the WIC program, were considered overweight or obese. That is a staggering 1/3 of toddlers already falling into this category. The future of children's health is at stake. Childhood medical issues will only worsen with age, eventually leading to heart disease, worsening of chronic illnesses, organ failure, and potentially an early death. Medical costs are also a large factor regarding childhood obesity. According to the Indiana State Department of Health, Indiana Hoosiers pay $3.5 billion in obesity-related medical costs. In 2005, children aged 6 to 11 were associated with $14.1 billion in prescription drugs, ER and outpatient visits, and hospitalizations. These costs will continue to rise as children become adults and require more care and more healthcare interventions. What has led to this problem of obese children? Lifestyle of today is much different than 40 years ago. With 2 working parents, there are often conflicting schedules, and that leaves little time to make home-cooked meals. Lack of education about proper nutrition plays into part. Obesity is prominent in low-income areas. Fast food is also cheap and readily available. The article that was in the Connersville News Examiner stated that in Connersville, which is in Fayette County, 80% of the restaurants are fast food. Technology is also more abundant today. There are many more TV programs to choose from, and an array of video games, and also smartphones. And also a decrease in physical activity. Other distractions take away from kids actually going outside and playing, and that leads back to all the technology that's available to us. First Lady Michelle Obama is taking initiative for change in childhood obesity. She spoke to the U.S. Conference of Mayors and stated 1 in 3 children is overweight or obese. 1/3 of children today will eventually suffer from diabetes. Another scary fact she announced is that childhood obesity is a greater threat to the nation's health than smoking. The American Journal of Public Health published that childhood obesity legislation of the U.S. propositions for each state. Indiana introduced 10, and only 1 was enacted. And the average state bills that were introduced were 35, and 34% of those were enacted. So it shows that Indiana has done little to face this problem. There needs to be more government support to push legislation into act. Education should begin in elementary schools, as good habits start early in life. Also, education for proper nutrition and exercise need to be addressed for lower income families. And I have some displays here of nutritional food and also non-nutritional food, and some McDonald's Happy Meal here. And I do give kudos to McDonald's. They did look smaller the size of their fries and put apples in all of their Happy Meals now, which used to be an option, and now they just always put those in there. But also a problem with eating healthy is that the nutritional foods are more expensive and they don't last as long. They're more perishable. There also needs to be more options for physical activities. The government can either put money into these types of payments for prevention or money into healthcare illnesses related to obesity. A downward trend will continue for our youth and the nation's health as our children age if change isn't made. As adults and parents, we need to set good examples for our children by making use of wise food choices, participating in physical activities, and kicking bad habits such as smoking or drinking pop, or not doing any physical activity. More advertisements need to go into promoting health care for children and healthy children. The public needs more awareness that this epidemic and the sad statistics. This may bring more people to make efforts to help change lifestyles of those children in need. Let's all take action to help our children. Letting them fail will be the failure for the future of our country. Thank you for listening. Alice.